What's up, grade 9? So, today is Friday, so today is our music class. So, last time, nagkaroon na tayo or in-introduce ko na sa inyo yung music of the classical period. So, the classical period, it was an era of classical music like what I've mentioned you last time. So, today we will discuss the cultural and historical background of the classical period. So classical period, sinasabi na it is the age of reason. So this refers to post-Baroque and pre-Romantic eras. So yung term na age of reason, this describes a time in history when nations like France and England demonstrated a critical thinking perspective on things. So intellectuals believe that the universe is ruled by the same laws regardless of time or place. Reason and logic ay ang path to truth. So dito, intellect sila nakafocus. So the intellect should direct people's action. So dito sa classical period, this period dito sila natutong gamitin yung kanilang critical thinking skills like what I've said sa inyo last meeting. So the classical period was an era of classical music between roughly, if I'm not mistaken, 1730 and 1820. And the classical period falls between the Baroque period, according sa book nyo, it refers to post-Baroque and pre-Romantic eras of music. So, itong classical period na 'to or classical music na 'to, ito ay yung sikat na estilo ng musika sa gitna ng Baroque at Romantic period. Kaya normal lamang na mayroong katangian ng Baroque at Romantic sa musika ng classical period. So the word classical can be defined in two ways. Number one is when we say classical, it is the music of classical period represented by Heinz, Mozart, Beethoven, and Schubert. And the second one is it can be defined as an art. So yung musika ay itinuturing nilang isang sining. So, yung ating definition number one, sinasabi na the music of the classical period represented by Heinz, Mozart, Beethoven, and Schubert. Kasi before, and up until now, when we say Beethoven, ah, classical music yan. Ah, sila yung tumugtog ng mostly mga classical music. Sa kanila nanggaling yung mga musika during classical period. Kaya nakikilala yung pangalan na classical pagdating sa musika, pagdating kina Beethoven or dahil kina Beethoven, Mozart, Haydn, and Schubert. And the definition po is music as art. So, unlike sa ating mga last discussion or last first quarter, is yung music is as entertainment lamang siya. Pero dito sa classical music or classical period, ang musika ay itinuturing nilang isang sining, hindi lang basta-basta music. Another one is classical symphony and concerto were developed during this period. So it was during this period or it was during classical period that classical symphony and concerto were developed. When we say concerto, it is a major instrumental works for solo instrument with orchestral accompaniment. More probably, ito yung mga opera, mga orchestra. So, during classical period, dun na-develop ito. Also, in this period, music was orderly and it can be characterized by having a clarity and balance. Kaya kung makikinig kayo ng mga halimbawa ng classical music, mapapansin yung ito ay masarap pakinggan, di ba? Dahil sa taglay na linaw at balance ng kanyang mga elements or ng kanyang mga elemento. Kaya sinasabi ng karamihan na yung classical music is nakakatulong siya pagdating sa pagre-review, pagdating sa pakikinig ng mga musikong gusto mo na magkaroon ng relaxation and peace of mind. So the music in the classical period, ito yung mga some of the characteristic ano was developed during this period. And classical music emphasize formal beauty than emotional expression. Tandaan niyo yun class na classical music, it most or more emphasize nila yung formal beauty kaysa dun sa pagbibigay ng mga emotional expression sa isang music. Kaya kung mapapansin niyo dito 'di ba, yung word na class is tumutukoy yun minsan sa formal beauty, may class yung isang tao, parang may mga gano'ng bagay. And Neapolitan opera style was introduced also during this period. And yung mga new instrument is may mga na-produce or na-introduce such as yung tinatawag na pianoforte. So tandaan niyo na 'pag sinabi nating pianoforte, this is the earliest keyboard that could play loud and soft sound. Sorry for that, that is soft, na-typo lang. Again, tandaan niyo na yung pianoforte, it is the earliest keyboard that could play loud and soft sounds. So pianoforte, this is a formal term for piano. So, before kasi ang ginagamit ng mga tao during classical period is harpsichord. So, this one is yung itsura ng harpsichord. So, kung mapapansin niyo parang single tone lang siya. So, isa lang yung mga ano niya. Unlike itong piano na meron na itong black one and yung white one. So, magsimula nung nagamit yung piano or na-introduce yung piano during classical period, gumawa na sila ng mga song which accompanies instrument. So, in musical composition, the use of crescendo and diminuendo as well as the change from fortissimo or extremely loud to pianissimo or extremely soft were developed according nga sa inyong book. So, tandaan nyo na crescendo and diminuendo ay na-develop siya during classical period. And pag sinabi nating fortissimo, it means very loud. And pianismo naman, it means very soft. Di ba pag nakikinig kayo ng mga music na may piano or kadalasan tinatawag na piano, instrumental music. So, etong mga music na 'to, ito yung mga very soft pakinggan. So, yung crescendo, yung crescendo, ito yung Italian word or it is an Italian word, crescere, which means to grow. So, para lang siyang same nung fortissimo pero yung crescendo kasi yung fortissimo very loud siya pero yung crescendo kasi ibig sabihin niya is to grow. So, it is the root of the word crescendo, yung to grow. In music, ang ibig sabihin ng crescendo, ito yung nagde-describe sa progressive rise in volume of the music over the course of a piece or song. So it means it is the loudest point reached in a gradually increasing sound. Ito yung pinaka peak or pinaka maingay or pinaka loud na sound. And then yung diminuendo naman, Italian word rin siya kung saan ginagamit siya ng mga composer na to signal the progressive diminishing of the volume of a piece of music, melody, or single sound. In short, sinabi natin crescendo class, louder, or yung music, it gradually became louder. Pasilikan or pasikan. Bilis, palakas siya ng palakas. And yung diminuendo, ito yung kabaliktaran ng crescendo kung saan yung music naman is it gradually becoming softer or pahina ng pahina. So, yon yung crescendo and diminuendo. So, from crescendo and diminuendo, ang naging kapalit nito, nag-shift siya into fortissimo and pianismo. Halos same definition lang siya. Fortissimo, very loud, pianismo, very soft. During classical period pa rin, Neapolitan opera style featured singing castrated men or eunuchs. So, tandaan niyo yung class na yung bel canto, it is sung by eunuchs or yung tinatawag na castrated men. So, dito, yung mga castrated men or yung mga tinatawag nga na eunuchs yung, kumakanta sa Neapolitan. Pero natigil yun nung si Napoleon is binan niya yung mga castration of singers. So, sa classical period meron rin tayong tinatawag na opera seria. Tandaan niyo 'tong mga term na 'to class ha, eunuchs, castrated men. And then yung pangalawa is opera seria. So, opera seria, ang ibig sabihin nito in English is a serious opera. So, this is an opera based on a serious plot that usually revolves around mythological beings such as gods and goddesses. While yung opera buffa naman, it is a comic opera. So, it is a comic opera na matatagpuan or mapapanood sa Italy. So, comic opera siya ng Italy that is full of fun. And serious comedy naman, it became popular also during this period. Parang yung serious comedy opera, pinaghalo siyang opera seria and opera buffa. So, example ng mga 'to is yung pinanood ko sa inyo na Spaghetti, yung menu, 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 yung mga gano'ng na bagay, yung, dapat na magiging PA niyo. Yun yung, example ng opera buffa or serious comedy opera. So, tandaan niyo yung mga term na 'yan. So, some of the highly cultured forms of instrumental music during the classical period were concerto, overture, symphony, symphony poem, opera, suite, etude. Plinay niyo lahat 'yan class 'pag nag-search kayo sa YouTube ng, mga ganitong kanta or mga ganitong music mostly or most probably ang mga mapapakinggan niyo is yung mga music that accompanied by harpsichord and, piano. So when it comes to its function naman, classical music mainly function as entertainment for guests and exclusive saloons and the noble society. So dito nalalaman niyo na mas maalam or this is the reason kung bakit mas maalam sa classical music ang mga may kaya sa buhay. And aside from this, it serves for lively entertainment and dance accompaniment. In church, composers were asked to write sacred music. So, kaya sa katagalan, mas naging secular na ang classical music. So these are the information that we need to know about the cultural and historical background of classical music. I hope kahit papaano class may mga natututunan na po kayo about music in the classical period. Now let's proceed to lesson 5 which is the sonata and sonata allegro form. So sonata, it's a type of musical composition that commonly has a solo instrument or a small instrumental ensemble. So, sonata is a multi-movement work for solo instrument, and sonata came from the word sonare, which means sound or to make a sound. In short, yung sonata, it is an any instrumental composition that has a several movement with variation in key, mode, or tempo. At sa sonata, meron tayong tinatawag na first movement, second movement, third movement. Kaya 'di ba yung mga plinay nating music last time meron sila na sonata number 16 in C major, may mga gano'n sa third movement. 'Di ba may mga gano'n sila? So, ganito yung ibig sabihin nun. Explain ko lang ulit class ha. 'Pag first movement, it is an allegro or fast movement. Quickly, bumibilis yung tempo. And yung second movement, yung andante, slow movement, ibig sabihin gradually bumabagal, humihina yung tempo ng isang kanta or ng isang music. And yung third movement, that is yung tinatawag na minuet. So, itong minuet na 'to, it's in a 3-4 times and in a moderate or fast tempo. From moderate nagiging mabilis yung kanyang tempo. So yon yung, sonata. So let me play another one na sonata music. So play natin yung number 16 in C major, number 16 in C major by Mozart. Mapapansin niyo dito yung tatlong movement. So, dito sa first movement is mabilis. 'Di ba? Bumibilis siya ng bumibilis. Ta's bigla nagiging slow. Second movement tayo, andante. And then third movement from moderate nagiging fast. Di ba? Fast na yon. So, kung napansin nyo dun sa music, maririnig natin yung third movement. So, yon yung nagiging features ng sonata or yung three movements sa sonata. I hope you understand. And let's proceed naman sa last one, which is the sonata allegro form. So, sonata allegro form, it is also known as the first movement form. It's a clearer structure of sonata. So dito sa sonata allegro form, the most important form that developed during the classical era is nagko-consist siya ng tatlong distinct sections. Mamaya i-discuss natin yon. So, although its name suggests fast tempo, sonata allegro, 'di ba yung kanina yung meaning ng allegro, that is for first movement, yung ibig sabihin niya mabilis, fast. But although its name suggests fast tempo, sonata allegro is not fast when it comes to tempo. Most sonata allegro pieces have homophonic harmony. Tandaan niyo yun ha. Most sonata allegro pieces have homophonic harmony and structures. And it also has short melody and defined musical phrases. So the rhythm follows the Alberti bass style. Pag sinabi nating Alberti bass styles, which this one, it characterized by broken string accompaniment. So the sonata allegro form has three elements, which are exposition, which is the part where the subject matter of the theme is stated. This is the first part, or this is the first part of a composition in sonata. From that, it introduces the subject or the theme of the music. Development, this one naman is yung tinatawag na development kung saan the subject or theme is further explored or expanded. So this is in the middle part of the sonata allegro form, wherein themes are being developed. And the last one, we have the recapitulation. So recapitulation, in this one, dito na-restate yung subject matter or theme. Ibig sabihin, dito nauulit yung theme as they first emerge in the opening exposition. So or these are the three elements of Sonata Allegro form. I hope you learned something for today for our lesson 4 and lesson 5. So, dun 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 dun. So, note for quiz 2-1, October 7, 2022, that is today, yan ating date for note. Music 9, quiz 2-1 on Friday. Next week, October 14, 2022. So, you need to review lesson 4 and 5 on pages 19 and 20 and 22 to 24. So, 19, 20, 22, 23, 24. So, that is 5 pages for quiz 2-1. That's it for today, everyone. That's it for today, everyone. I hope you're having a nice day and happy weekend. Bye! 감사합니다.